Ladies and gentlemen, what if I told you that just three simple phrases could make a man think about you non-stop, crave your presence, and fall for you harder than ever before? These aren't just words, they're triggers that tap into his deepest emotions, making him see you in a completely new way. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal exactly what they are and how to use them. And once you know this, nothing about attraction will ever feel the same again. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to pause for a moment and imagine a world where you understand the subtle art of attraction. Not manipulation, not tricks, but the true magnetic pull that comes from confidence, authenticity, and knowing exactly what to say to stir a man's heart. Imagine being able to communicate in a way that makes him feel drawn to you naturally, that makes him think about you even when you're not around, and that creates a connection so strong it feels effortless. Today, I'm going to share with you three man-melting phrases, words that carry more power than you might realize, words that have the ability to awaken feelings, spark desire, and make him fall for you in ways that feel deeply emotional and genuine. The first phrase isn't just about what you say, it's about what it conveys. When you say it, you're giving him a subtle invitation to feel valued, to feel appreciated, and to see you as someone who notices the little things. It's a phrase that says, I see you, I notice you. Think about the impact of feeling truly seen. In a world where most men feel the pressure to perform, to be strong, to carry their burdens silently, being recognized is incredibly magnetic. It's not just flattery, it's acknowledgement. This phrase carries warmth, authenticity, and appreciation, and when delivered with genuine intent, it can make a man feel like he matters more to you than he's ever realized. Now, the second phrase is a little different. This one taps into a man's sense of excitement and challenge. It's about creating a spark, a tension, a playfulness that keeps him curious and engaged. It's the phrase that makes him wonder, makes him intrigued, makes him want to invest more of himself into knowing you. You see, attraction isn't just about comfort. It's about a dance between closeness and mystery. This phrase introduces a subtle hint of unpredictability, a tease of possibility, a sense that there's something irresistible about you he can't quite put his finger on. When used at the right moment, it can awaken a man's desire to pursue, to explore, to connect on a deeper level. It's playful, it's fun, and it's magnetic. The third phrase is, perhaps the most powerful of all. This is the phrase that speaks to his heart, to his emotions, to the parts of him he doesn't always show. It's a phrase that communicates support, understanding, and connection in a way that feels intimate without being overwhelming. This isn't about needing him or relying on him. This is about showing him that you see him as a complete person, that you respect his journey, and that you can be a safe space for him to be himself. It creates emotional resonance, a feeling that he can let down his guard and still be accepted. It's this kind of deep emotional connection that builds a bond stronger than superficial attraction, and it's incredibly powerful because it's rooted in authenticity, empathy, and presence. But let's pause for a moment and reflect on why words carry this kind of power. You see, it's not magic, it's psychology, emotion, and the art of communication. Every human being wants to feel understood, seen, and appreciated. Every man wants to feel that spark, that thrill, that connection that makes his heart race and his mind linger on someone long after they've left the room. These phrases work because they tap into those fundamental desires. They don't force anything. They simply illuminate the qualities that make you magnetic, desirable, and unforgettable. And here's the thing, it's not just about memorizing phrases or repeating lines. It's about embodying them. The delivery, the timing, the context, the energy you bring, they all matter more than the words themselves. Confidence amplifies everything. If you speak these phrases with hesitation or doubt, they lose their impact. But if you say them with clarity, presence, and belief, they resonate on a level that goes beyond words. It's about showing up fully, being present in the moment, and allowing yourself to connect authentically with him. You might wonder, isn't this manipulative? Aren't I playing games? And here's the truth. The most magnetic women don't play games. They understand themselves, their worth, and their power, and they communicate in ways that honor both themselves and the man they're connecting with. These phrases aren't about control. They're about influence, connection, and alignment. When used with integrity, they create mutual attraction, interest, and emotional investment. They make him want to know you, pursue you, and appreciate the unique qualities that only you can bring into his life. Let's also address timing. These phrases are not meant to be rushed. They're about the right moment, the right energy, and the right intention. Sprinkle them into conversation naturally when the moment calls for it. Observe his reactions, notice how he responds, and allow the connection to grow organically. The beauty of these phrases is that they create an emotional ripple. They make him think, feel, and reflect on the connection without you having to do anything extra. It's subtle, sophisticated, and incredibly effective. And here's something important to remember. The goal isn't to make someone fall for you instantly. It's to awaken feelings, curiosity, and attraction that grow over time. Real connection is layered, nuanced, and built on trust, respect, and authenticity. These phrases are your tools to ignite that spark, but the real magic happens when you combine them with your personality, your energy, and your unique qualities. You see, attraction is a dance, not a performance, and when you step into your power with confidence, authenticity, and playfulness, you create a magnetic pull that is impossible to resist. So, as you think about these three phrases, I want you to reflect on the deeper principles behind them: acknowledgement, intrigue, emotional resonance. When you master these principles, you're no longer relying on tricks or tactics. You're communicating in a way that naturally draws him toward you. You're showing him a version of connection that he's craving without even knowing it. And that's the kind of attraction that lasts. The most successful women understand this. They know that attraction isn't about chasing, it's about presence. It's not about being someone you're not. It's about amplifying your best qualities and creating an environment where a man feels seen, valued, and inspired to invest his energy. When you combine these three phrases with self-confidence, authenticity, and emotional intelligence, you become irresistible, not because you're trying to manipulate him, but because you're embodying the very qualities that make you magnetic. Ladies and gentlemen, this isn't just about words. It's about the power of presence, the art of connection, and the ability to awaken emotions that make a man feel alive, wanted, and understood. These three phrases are your starting point, your toolkit, and your gateway to creating attraction that feels effortless, natural, and deeply emotional. When you understand how to wield them with confidence, intention, and authenticity, you don't just capture attention, you ignite desire, curiosity, and emotional investment that makes him want to be with you, think of you, and cherish the connection you create. Remember, attraction is not a formula. It's a dance of energy, emotion, and connection. These phrases give you the words, but the real power comes from how you show up, the confidence you radiate, and the authenticity you bring to every interaction. They are the spark, but you are the fire. And when you combine the two, the results are magnetic, transformative, and unforgettable. Now, as we continue, I want you to consider the subtle nuances of how these phrases work in real life. Attraction isn't about shouting your feelings or laying everything bare at once. It's about creating layers, building a connection, and allowing curiosity to grow naturally. Each phrase is like a key that unlocks a different door in his mind and heart. The first phrase, the one that acknowledges and values him, plants the seed of recognition. It tells him, without words, that you see him, you notice him, and that he matters in a way he might not be used to experiencing. And here's the beautiful part. Most men, even the strongest, the most independent, carry a longing to be truly seen. By giving that to him, you tap into something far deeper than attraction alone. You awaken a feeling of importance that no one else can replicate quite like you. The second phrase, the one that sparks intrigue and playfulness, keeps him on his toes. It's a gentle dance of curiosity that makes him want to discover more about you, to figure you out, to invest his energy because he senses there's something magnetic he can't quite define. Men are wired to pursue, to explore, to solve puzzles, and when you introduce this layer into your connection, you become irresistible not because of your looks, not because of a fleeting charm, but because you've activated a part of his mind that craves engagement, challenge, and excitement. This phrase, when used thoughtfully, is like adding a spark to a fire that's already warm. It intensifies his interest and keeps the connection alive. Then there's the third phrase, the one that fosters emotional resonance and deep connection. This is where true transformation happens. It's where you move from surface level attraction to emotional intimacy. It's where he begins to feel a sense of safety with you, where he can lower his guard, share his vulnerabilities, and feel understood without judgment. Emotional connection is the cornerstone of long-term attraction. While the first two phrases ignite sparks, this third phrase creates the kind of warmth, ease, and trust that sustains those sparks, making him not just want you, but feel that he needs you, not in a dependent way, but in a way that's rooted in appreciation, admiration, and desire. Now, here's something crucial. While words are powerful, energy and presence are even more so. You could memorize every line, every phrase, and deliver them mechanically, but if your energy doesn't align with what you're saying, it falls flat. Authenticity is magnetic. Confidence is magnetic. When you speak these phrases from a place of self-assuredness, when you embody your worth, when your presence is alive and fully engaged, the words become catalysts for attraction rather than just sentences strung together. Think of it like this. The words are the map, but your energy is the vehicle that gets him there. Without the vehicle, the map is useless. Timing also plays an enormous role. You might be tempted to think that delivering these phrases constantly or too early will guarantee attraction, but that's a misconception. Attraction grows when there's rhythm, when there's awareness, when you respect the natural ebb and flow of connection. Sprinkle these phrases thoughtfully. Watch his reactions, notice the moments when his energy shifts positively in response. Use these moments to reinforce the connection, not to push or force it. When done right, the delivery feels seamless, effortless, and natural, so much so that he might not even realize why he's thinking about you more, caring more, and feeling more invested. And here's another layer that most people overlook. These phrases don't exist in isolation. They are most effective when paired with your actions, your demeanor, and the way you carry yourself in life. Attraction is a full spectrum experience. It's the combination of words, body language, tone, energy, and presence that makes someone truly magnetic. A man may hear a phrase, see, but what he feels, the way your smile reaches your eyes, the warmth in your tone, the way you engage with him sincerely, amplifies its effect tenfold. Every movement, every glance, every gesture reinforces the emotional impact of your words. Let's also talk about the mindset behind these phrases. You must approach them from a place of abundance, not neediness. When you speak from a place of desire and curiosity rather than desperation, it transforms the dynamic completely. Men are naturally drawn to women who are whole, who are confident in themselves, and who radiate self-assurance. The phrases become tools of connection, not tools of persuasion. They allow him to be drawn to you because he senses your independence, your worth, and your magnetism. This mindset shift from seeking validation to radiating confidence is the true game changer in attraction. You might ask yourself, what if he doesn't respond the way I hope? Here's the key. These phrases aren't guarantees. They are catalysts. Their purpose is to ignite curiosity, desire, and emotional engagement. But attraction is a two-way street. The right man, the one whose energy aligns with yours, will respond naturally and eagerly. The wrong man might not, and that's okay. Your focus is never on forcing feelings, but on expressing your authentic self, creating a magnetic pull, and allowing the right connection to emerge organically. Confidence in this process, in knowing your worth, is itself incredibly magnetic. Let's explore the emotional dimension of each phrase a little further. The first phrase, the one that acknowledges and appreciates him, creates a feeling of being valued. Men often feel they must constantly prove themselves, that their worth is tied to achievement, strength, or providing. When you recognize him sincerely, you offer validation that transcends ego. You give him a space to feel seen and thought. That's profoundly attractive. The second phrase, the playful, intriguing one, awakens excitement. It creates a spark of unpredictability, a sense of adventure that he subconsciously associates with you. And the third phrase, the emotionally resonant one, builds intimacy. It's the phrase that tells him, without words, that he can trust you, that he can share his emotions, and that he can feel a deeper connection without losing his independence. These three layers together form a powerful trifecta that addresses mind, heart, and emotion simultaneously. Another factor that amplifies these phrases is your ability to listen actively. Real connection isn't just about speaking, it's about understanding. When you observe his reactions, listen to his words, and respond thoughtfully, you enhance the potency of every phrase. Active listening conveys empathy, presence, and engagement, making every word you speak resonate more deeply. It's a skill that transforms ordinary interactions into extraordinary moments of connection. Now, let's talk about subtlety. The most magnetic women never over-explain, never overstate, and never oversate the conversation with these phrases. Subtle delivery is what makes them irresistible. When a phrase is delivered with timing, intention, and precision, it creates impact. Too much and it feels forced. Just enough and it sparks curiosity, engagement, and emotional investment. Think of it like seasoning a dish. You don't overwhelm it, you enhance it, allowing the natural flavors to shine through. And confidence isn't just about your outward presentation. It's about your inner belief in your worth, your value, and the connection you create. When you believe in yourself, it radiates through every word, every glance, every gesture. A man doesn't just hear the phrase, he feels your energy, your conviction, your magnetic presence. He is drawn not only to words, but to the power behind them. As you practice these phrases, remember that consistency matters more than perfection. Attraction is cultivated over time through repeated experiences of connection, warmth, playfulness, and emotional resonance. Each interaction builds upon the last. Each phrase, when used thoughtfully and authentically, layers attraction, making him think about you, miss you, and want to invest more in knowing you. Over time, these small moments accumulate into a profound sense of desire, respect, and admiration. Lastly, understand that the true power of these phrases lies in your authenticity. No one else can deliver them the way you do. Your experiences, your energy, your presence, and your emotional intelligence create a unique combination that amplifies their effect. When you embody your worth, express curiosity, and radiate confidence, these phrases become more than words. They become the bridge between attraction and emotional connection. They allow a man to see the real you, to feel drawn to your energy, and to invest his attention and affection naturally. You are not using these phrases to trick or manipulate. You are using them to communicate your value, to inspire connection, and to create moments that awaken desire, curiosity, and emotional engagement. When delivered with confidence, timing, and authenticity, they are tools that illuminate the best parts of both you and him. They create a magnetic energy that pulls him closer, makes him think of you often, and leaves a lasting impression. And as you continue to explore this art, remember that attraction is a combination of mind, heart, and energy. These phrases activate all three. They acknowledge his worth, spark his curiosity, and foster emotional intimacy. When used thoughtfully and authentically, they create a connection that feels effortless, natural, and deeply magnetic. They transform ordinary conversations into moments that linger, moments that create desire, and moments that build a foundation for deeper emotional engagement. Now, as you take these ideas deeper, I want you to understand something crucial. Attraction is never just about what you say. It's about the rhythm, the energy, and the emotional journey you create. Think about the most unforgettable people you've met in your life. Chances are it wasn't just their words that drew you in. It was the way they made you feel. That sense of excitement, warmth, curiosity, or even challenge that sticks in your mind long after the conversation ends. That's the very essence of magnetic attraction. And these three phrases, when used thoughtfully, tap directly into that. They give you a way to guide the emotional journey of connection while staying fully authentic, present, and confident. Let's dive deeper into the first phrase, the one that acknowledges him. Its power is not just in the words themselves, but in the unspoken message behind them. When you genuinely recognize a man, his efforts, his thoughts, his qualities, you are sending him a message that no one else may have taken the time to send. You are telling him that he matters, that his energy is noticed, and that who he is resonates with you. This is magnetic because it touches a deep human need to be valued and seen. Most men carry a quiet desire to feel appreciated for who they are, beyond what they do or what they provide. By delivering this phrase with sincerity, you create an invisible bond that begins at the level of his heart, not just his mind. The second phrase, the one that sparks intrigue, functions on a different layer. Here, you are not only acknowledging him, but you are inviting him into a playful, curious dynamic. This phrase is about movement and energy, about creating a sense of momentum that keeps him engaged and excited. Curiosity is one of the most potent drivers of human behavior. When someone feels intrigued, they want to explore, understand, and invest more time and energy. You are essentially creating an emotional breadcrumb trail, a pathway that makes him want to follow, discover, and engage with you more deeply. It's subtle, yet it has an almost magnetic pull because it aligns with the way the human brain seeks novelty and challenge. The third phrase, the emotionally resonant one, is the one that transforms attraction into connection. This is where a man begins to feel understood, where he senses that he can be fully himself without judgment. Emotional intimacy is a silent but powerful driver of long-term desire. When a man feels that a woman can see him, understand him, and support him without losing her own strength or identity, he experiences a sense of security and depth that is incredibly rare. This phrase doesn't just spark attraction, it deepens it, making him want to be present, engaged, and emotionally invested in the connection you are creating. It's where genuine feelings take root and begin to grow. But there's another layer that many women overlook: the interplay between these phrases and non-verbal communication. Every glance, smile, gesture, and tone of voice amplifies what you say. Men don't just hear your words, they feel them. The way you carry yourself, the energy you radiate, the subtle cues in your body language. All of these elements reinforce the power of the phrases. A phrase delivered with warmth, playfulness, and authenticity resonates far more deeply than the same phrase delivered mechanically or with hesitation. Presence, energy, and confidence are what make these words truly unforgettable. Timing is equally critical. Too early, and the phrases may not land. Too late, and the spark of curiosity or engagement may have passed. The most magnetic women have an intuitive sense of when to use these phrases, when to speak, and when to let silence carry the moment. They understand that attraction is a dance, a delicate balance between speaking and observing, moving forward and stepping back. It's not about forcing a reaction. It's about creating an environment where he naturally responds, where curiosity and emotional engagement build organically over time. It's also vital to approach these phrases from a place of inner strength and abundance. When you speak from a mindset of neediness or insecurity, the phrases lose their potency. Confidence is magnetic. Self-assurance amplifies every word. When a woman knows her worth, values her own energy, and approaches interactions with curiosity and playfulness, the effect is transformative. She doesn't need to coerce or manipulate. She simply radiates presence and authenticity, and the right man responds naturally. Let's explore the emotional dynamics further. The first phrase, the acknowledgement, speaks to his need for validation and recognition. It tells him that he is seen beyond surface-level achievements. The second phrase, the intrigue, activates his sense of challenge, curiosity, and desire for exploration. The third phrase, the emotional resonance, provides a foundation of trust, warmth, and intimacy. Together, these phrases address mind, heart, and emotion simultaneously, creating a multi-layered connection that feels powerful, natural, and irresistible. Another key element is subtlety. The most magnetic women don't overstate, over-explain, or repeat these phrases incessantly. They use them sparingly, allowing each phrase to land with impact. Subtlety creates mystery, invites curiosity, and ensures that the energy of the interaction remains alive and dynamic. Think of it like music. If the notes are too loud, the melody loses its beauty. If they are played with intention and rhythm, the music captivates the listener. Active listening is another multiplier of attraction. When you combine these phrases with the ability to truly hear and understand him, you create a resonance that goes beyond words. Listening conveys empathy, attentiveness, and presence, reinforcing the power of your words. It shows that you are not just speaking at him, but engaging with him on a level that matters, a level that connects deeply with his emotional world. Confidence, again, is the silent engine behind all of this. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have it all figured out. But you do have to show up fully with self-respect and awareness. The right energy delivered with intention is more magnetic than any scripted line. Men respond to presence, not perfection. They respond to a woman who knows herself, who enjoys her life, and who communicates in ways that inspire curiosity and connection. As you practice these phrases, remember that consistency matters more than perfection. Attraction is built over time through repeated experiences of warmth, curiosity, acknowledgement, and emotional resonance. Each phrase, when used thoughtfully, reinforces connection. Over time, these interactions accumulate, creating a sense of magnetic pull that is almost impossible for him to ignore. It's not about instant results, it's about building layers of desire and engagement that deepen over time. The authenticity behind your words is what makes them transformational. You are not pretending or performing. You are amplifying your natural qualities, expressing your curiosity, and engaging with him in a way that feels real and alive. That authenticity, combined with the strategic use of these phrases, is what creates the kind of attraction that lingers, that excites, and that makes him think about you constantly. It's also important to remember that these phrases are not manipulative. They are tools for alignment and connection. They allow you to communicate your energy, your interest, and your authenticity in a way that encourages him to invest emotionally and mentally. They illuminate your magnetic qualities, spark curiosity, and deepen emotional engagement. The right man will respond to this naturally, without coercion or pressure, because the energy you project resonates with his own desires and needs. Now, as you step into this, consider how these phrases can enhance every interaction, from casual conversations to deeper, more intimate moments. They give you a framework to express value, intrigue, and connection in ways that feel effortless. They allow you to move through the world with confidence, knowing that your presence, your energy, and your words create attraction that is both natural and powerful. You are not simply using words, you are crafting experiences. Each phrase is a doorway to deeper engagement, and your energy is the force that draws him through that doorway. Presence, confidence, playfulness, empathy, and authenticity. These are the pillars that support the words, making them far more impactful than the phrases alone ever could be. And as you practice, remember that attraction is an ongoing, evolving experience. You are continuously refining your presence, your energy, and your communication. Each interaction, each conversation, each phrase you use adds to the magnetic pull you create. Over time, the connection you build becomes stronger, more compelling, and more deeply rooted in mutual respect, curiosity, and desire. This is the essence of being magnetic, the ability to connect deeply, inspire curiosity, and evoke genuine emotion through your words, your energy, and your presence. These three phrases are your starting point, your framework, and your toolkit for creating attraction that feels effortless, natural, and unforgettable. When you combine them with authenticity, confidence, timing, and emotional intelligence, you step into a space where connection flows, attraction grows, and engagement becomes irresistible.